Hello and welcome to the magic of fishing. Today you join me for what promises to be my final river fishing session of the season. Not my final video, but it's also going to be my last YouTube upload for a while. I've got some exciting news, for me at least, which is that later this month, if all goes well, I should be moving house. It's mid-March as I film this, so right towards the end of the season. Beautiful spring day. The lesser celandine are flowering on the banks. You've got the hawthorns bursting into leaf and the blackthorn in blossom. So stunning last day for me on the rivers. And yeah, later this month I'll be moving from Woking to Guildford. And if you don't know Surrey, it's another lovely town. It's about 20-30 minutes drive from where I live now. Rachel and I have seen a chance to downsize and maybe pay down a bit of debt. The kids are getting older. We've got one about to finish university, two might be going off to uni in the next year or so, and even the youngest is going to be 16 soon. So the house is a little bit smaller and it's just a 5-minute walk from the River Wey. So I'm hoping once I'm settled, my gear is out of the many boxes it's currently packed into, that I'll be doing even more fishing come the next river season this June. Lots to look forward to for me and hopefully for you, with many more fishing adventures to come. But the next month or two are going to be really busy. I've done lots of packing already, and once we get to the new house there'll be lots of unpacking, a bit of decorating and all sorts of DIY and handiwork for me to get on with. So this is probably going to be my last fishing video for a few weeks, and I hope you can survive on the back catalogue until I'm back on your screens, which I will endeavour to do as soon as possible. And today I have come to a new stretch of river. Only got a few hours, the afternoon and the evening, because things are so busy at home, but I am back on the bank of the River Blackwater near Yateley in Hampshire, just over the border into Hampshire. And it's a lovely little river. It's almost a stream in places, quite clear, certainly in these low water conditions, dry conditions. And I'm just hoping for a few bites today. So you can see there's quite a few snags further down in the first swim that I've chosen. I'm travelling fairly light. Most of my gear is packed up anyway. There's lots and lots of cyclists, walkers, dogs coming past, but you can just creep down the bank from the main path and you do feel a bit more sheltered and secluded down by the water. It's a sheer joy to be next to a river as always. And when the sun's shining, it might not be ideal for catching fish in a shallow piece of river like this, but it just makes you feel glad to be alive, to feel the sun on your face. It's 18 degrees today, which is incredible in mid-March. I'm going to be back down to single digits next week, so I've timed my last trip nicely. I just keep flicking out a few bronze or yellow maggots, not feeding heavily, but just trying to get the confidence of any fish that may be here before I have a first trot down. And yes, it's really going to be a quick afternoon session where just a few bites and even a small fish or two will put a big smile on my face before the chaos of the move ensues and before we're forced to stop fishing the rivers for a while. So I've only got access to limited tackle, but I got a rod already set up from a previous session with one of these Drennan crystal titanium trotters, 3.5 gram float, nice bright proud tip. I'll be able to see a decent way down for long trotting. It's down to a 3.5 gram Olivet, quick change swivel, and about a foot of 3 pound mono, size 16 with a couple of maggots. Simple as that. It's only a couple of foot deep in many places. Let's have a first run down on the Blackwater. And as with my last two, or first two exploratory sessions on the Blackwater. It really does take me back to childhood fishing. It's either seated on the ground on a keep net bag at the moment, or crouching by the water, or if you can avoid your shadow being cast over the shallower runs, stood up. That dipped then. I can't be sure if it was a bite, could have just been dragging bottom. But you know, it's a lovely way to fish, moving around, not carrying too much tackle. I have brought a chair with me today, and I have brought a small light tip rod as well if I want to try worms or meat in a deeper looking spot. But it's really about exploring the river and getting to know a new piece of water, trying a few swims, trotting the length of each spot that I decide to drop in on, and really getting a sense of whether there's any fish around or not. And of course, if there aren't, you move on. Especially when the sun's shining like this, it gives me a real sense of childhood magic. Simple fishing. Perfect way to end another season. Lovely bird song. Spring has arrived. Certainly in Surrey, or Hampshire should I say. Oh, it feels great just to be fishing in a t-shirt, probably the first time in half a year since it's been warm enough to just come out in a t-shirt. I love spring. Might be the end of the river season, which is the downside of course, but for us anglers. But I'm also a keen gardener and walker and just love my nature, so this time of year it's all to look forward to. The summer ahead, the bulbs pushing up, flowering, and the birds back singing. Got to love this time of the year. And just look at this for a chubby feeling bend. Big deadfall. Real tangle of trunks and branches on the far bank before it sweeps under some holly and on down. Highly unlikely to get a bite right in front of me in these kind of bright conditions, but there's a half decent trot down below. A little bit more depth than there was above, probably 2.5 foot. So we'll give this 5 or 10 minutes. Thanks to the magic of editing, you join me probably 2 hours into the session now. The sun is getting a bit lower in the sky, but it's very bright. And fishing such a shallow venue, it does feel like the fish are tucked up in snags or under the banks, undercut banks, and only deeper, slightly deeper corners. Giving it a good 2 hours on the trotted maggot and couldn't buy a bite, so I'm not complaining for 1 second. It's still a lovely piece of river to explore and a fantastic day to do it on, but it just feels like tip. A static bait fished in and around the snags or into any deeper slacks might be worth a go, and that's what I've just done. I've put on a big lobworm, also got a bit of meat coated in garlic if need be. But just for the next half hour, I'm going to give the tip a go, see whether I can find any fish that way. And having a go on the tip has also just slowed things down a bit, slowed me down. It's busy work trotting on a pacey, shallow stream like this, and it's nice just to sit in one spot, taking the beauty of my surroundings. Has been really busy at times, the footpath. I mean, that's what you'd expect, of course, on the first really warm spring day of the year, on a Sunday afternoon, in a beautiful little piece of countryside like this. But you still can lose yourself in the water, the sound of the water, the movement. And although the fishing's been slow, it's always a pleasure to get out on the bank and just spend some time in nature like this. It's also given me time to think about the channel and how absolutely incredible it's been. Less than 2 years since I thought, why not try filming 1 or 2 bankside exploits and shove them on YouTube and see if anyone's interested. Really just trying to keep the book alive. It's a few years now since the book was published, and thought it might be nice to do something in the name of the book, try and celebrate what I think makes fishing so magic, certainly for me. The response has been way beyond anything I could have imagined. I think I'm coming up to 35,000 subscribers, and my last video on the Trent heading for 50,000 views. It's really surprised me in a very nice way, and I've massively appreciated all your support at home. Some of you have been with me almost from the start. There's many names I recognise in the comments and love to see each week. And although I've not met most of you, it feels like I do know you a little bit, and I'm sure you feel like you know me a little bit from watching the videos. I hope so anyway. I wear my heart on my sleeve and love having you along on my mini fishing adventures. So it's going to be quite strange to have a break and stop. I'm sure it'll be nice in ways. It would be nice if I weren't so busy with the house move. It takes a lot of time and effort editing videos, and filming when you're fishing isn't always easy either. But it's been so rewarding, it makes it all worthwhile, and your comments are a big part of that. And yeah, certainly not going to make me a millionaire, but the money I earn from YouTube, it pays for my bait and petrol, and it's become a real hobby that is a big part of my fishing now. So it's going to be strange to leave your screens, whether it's your telly or a mobile or computer, laptop, whatever you watch the magic of fishing on. But I don't think it's going to be realistic, at least for a few weeks, to be making videos. Really looking forward to getting to know the River Wey near Guildford much better than I do now. So I'll be able to walk to the river within 5 or 10 minutes maximum from home. I'm sure Rachel will be happy about that. But that'll give me the chance to do quick evening sessions whenever I get the chance. Maybe do a bit of pre-baiting. With the clubs that I now belong to and the day ticket waters that I've become aware of on top of that, I'm sure the next season is going to be a special one, another special one that I can't wait to share with you. So, although I'll be gone for a little while, keep an eye out and I'll be back before you know it. And here's another corner swim, or off the back of a corner, a bend. The water's clearly deeper on this inside bank, and that fallen tree down there looks perfect. So here's another spot I'm going to have to give a few minutes, and that is a bag of seriously old, refrozen, smelly and garlic luncheon meat. I think it's fair to say Rachel will expect me to use some of this up and get rid rather than bring it in the move. So, having given worm a good go, let's see whether meat does any better. Definitely cooling off now. And I have to remind myself it's not long since the temperatures were 0 overnight and there were hard frosts. It's funny, on a bright day like this, early spring or late season, depending on which way you look at it, I bet you fishing into dark, or dusk at least, would give you a good chance. Fish, like I say, have probably been holed up in snags or undercut banks. So bright, and I got that sense from the fact I couldn't buy a bite on maggots. But they'll still be hungry, and if I was able to fish into the dark on a swim like this with a big smelly bait like meat, I reckon I'd be in with a good shout of a chub. There are even supposed to be a few barbel in here, but I do have to get back fairly shortly. Just so much to do, getting ready for the big move. It's amazing what you collect with 3 step-kids and my own lad Fred. We've been in the house a good 10 years, and just emptying out the loft was a half-day job in itself. Rachel's been selling stuff on eBay and giving stuff away on Free Cycle and Facebook. No end of people coming to the house because there just won't be room for as much stuff in the new place. But I think for any sadness we feel leaving a house that's been very good to us, it's been a fantastic home for the last decade. The kids have grown up there. We're going to get the excitement of a new place, and that's a bit like fishing. It's great to be somewhere familiar that you know like the back of your hand, but equally enjoyable to come somewhere completely new, even if it's going to be difficult like it has been today. And the new house and the river that's nearby there, I'm sure is going to be a fantastic place to be, and can't wait. It's just going to be pretty hardcore few weeks, but I'd hope by, I don't know, May. I don't want to make any promises, but sometime in May I might be back with a video. Perhaps do some still water fishing before the start of the new river season. There's always places I want to try. Suggestions from you folks, places I've heard about, places I've walked round and never fished. It's just not enough time. But I'm already making some plans, and it'll be brilliant once I've sorted the new garage. Hopefully putting a few cheap kitchen units and a work surface and place for the rods to be stored. But yeah, I can't wait for the new place. And although it would be nice to end this season, this river season, with a fish, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. It's still been great to get out, get a chance to update you folks at home about what's going on. share a bit of scenery with you and a few thoughts. Well, would you believe it, folks? Persistence pays off. That's the magic of fishing. Tiny little chub, maybe 6 or 7 ounce, but man, has he put a smile on my face. Tip wanged round on the meat, probably got 15 minutes left, and he's put a little bend in my rod on the last day of the season. Couldn't be much more chuffed with that. So let's slip him back, maybe give it one more go before home time. Be rude not to give it one more go, wouldn't it? Big old chunk of meat for such a small fish. That was on a barbless size 6, little 1 ounce lead. And the reason I picked this spot is a bit further downstream there's a swing rope where kids in the summer obviously spend some time hurling themselves into the river, and that tells me it's probably a touch deeper there, maybe half a foot, but provides a touch more cover for the fish, and maybe that's why that little chub was there. Pair of kids come past. It's really quieted down. And it is getting a bit darker now. It's always a fantastic feeling when you stick it out, try different things, persevere, and it pays off. I'm not going to finish this season on a blank. And Mother Nature has provided a rod rest. Barely any tension in the tip, just like before. It twitched and I thought, is that a bite? And then, good old chub style, even if it was a small one, whack, straight round. Oh, it's a good feeling. Well, folks, the light really is starting to fade and I need to get home anyway. No rest for the wicked. But that one fish really has meant I'm finishing the river season on a high. It's going to have to be a one fish wonder of a session, but sometimes that's all you need to send you home with a massive smile on your face. And I know I'll be falling asleep tonight with memories of today still playing through my head. I hope you've enjoyed it, and more importantly, I really hope you've enjoyed many more of the videos on this channel since it launched under 2 years ago. I couldn't have kept going without your support, both the views and the thumbs up, but also the comments, the shares. Really do appreciate your ongoing support. It's a special community that we've created and we continue to create, and I think it's full of like-minded anglers who love a mixture of fishing and love nature and love just being out by water of any kind. And I can't wait to get going again. Perhaps in May, as I say, I'll be back on your screens. Don't want to make any promises, but I am going to need a few weeks off to get this house move done. But just as Arnie said, as Terminator, or in the Terminator films, I'll be back. I'll leave you with a few highlights since the channel launched, and I will see you again on the bank. you.